Hello, Donna Kato here. Welcome to my studio. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Now, today's tutorial is a simple pendant, and here are 3 examples of them. Just oval pendants, quite simple, nothing complicated. Now, if you want to make this specific one, which is what I believe this is the one I show you, then all of these canes, Basketweave, then this guy, then this guy, then this guy, well, they're all on the channel, and you can find them under the Mudcloth Cane series. So if you want to make exactly this, then you will certainly be able to by looking at those tutorials. If you need help with this, see that copper? Well, that is foil, not leaf, but foil. So I covered the foil in this class. Remember this class? Here, I'll do you one better. I've got the actual piece, if I can free it up here. This guy, okay? And so if you need more information about working with foil, then please watch that tutorial, and I will put a link in the class description. So I think that's all. I don't think there's anything more to say other than I think it's time for us to start. Well, let's begin. You can see the canes. I will probably use mudcloth canes. I thought this would be a perfect chance to use some of those mudcloth canes. Okay, Basketweave, the X's, the blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so this is what I'm gonna pick from. And I have my foil. Now this is copper foil. If you need more information about how you transfer foil onto clay, please watch the Simple Diamond Pendant. I go into more detail and I do it in that tutorial. We're going to need Cara Jane's templates. Here are 2 of them, this one and this one, C and F. Now, I have not sanded the back of this, but I am gonna sand it. Okay, so it's easier to lift off of raw clay. We're not gonna be working on a ceramic tile to begin with. We are gonna work on this handy dandy piece of deli paper. Okay, so I think I will start maybe with this guy. Now, this has been rolled through setting number 3, so it's going to be my goal to slice all of these the same as if I rolled them through setting number 3. So let's see if I can possibly do this. I'm going to try. I'm gonna try. Okay, stand up. I think setting 3 is about maybe there. Now I will slowly cut through. Like that. Let's just see if I did it. It's very close. I'm not really unhappy with that at all. This goes on my deli paper. Now I'm going to take just a sheet of black. Now this is also rolled through setting number 3. I want a very, very thin stripe. So I'm just going to push it up against, lightly press it together so it doesn't come apart. You know, it wants to come apart. It's like, I want to come apart. Let me go. And I'm saying, nope. Nope, 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 nope. You can't. So let's cut just a teeny skinny line like that. Remove this, and I tilt the blade, and that makes it easier to get it off, okay? Looks a little crooked to me, actually. Let me see if I can cut a bit. It looks a little bit thicker on this side. The worst that happens is I have to cut it again, and that's really not so bad. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is lay in just a strip of copper. Just like that. And once again, I just want to try to get these together so they don't separate and split. It's the goal. Okay, so let's just do this. Hopefully that is straight across. Set that aside. And let me put another black strip on. Now, when I put the black strip on, you guys remember the round side, sharp side thing, right? So I have turned it, this is the sharp side. I can see it's much sharper than this side that looks slightly rounded. That just happens when you cut with a blade. When you cut with anything, as a matter of fact, even though the blade is extremely sharp, you're still going to get that rounded side, sharp side thing happening. Okay, so let me see if I can do a better job cutting this time. Cut, remove, tilt, release. All right, this is what we have so far. Ta-ta. Now, what shall I use now? This guy, I like this guy. I think I like this guy better than this guy, so I'm gonna cut this one. Once again, I'm trying to cut it as if the same thickness as setting number 3. As near as I can figure, that's, yeah, that's very close. So that goes there. And I think I'm going to put 2 on. Like so. Push them back together. Okay, so let's put another copper on. How about that? Just a skinny one, and I won't even put black on first. Just skinny. Skinny. You know, maybe I should check and see how big I have to make this. Okay. I figure it will be cut about like that, so I've got to go about another little less than an inch. Now, let's do this. I really like this cane. First, I will just cut a little piece off and toss that in my scrap. See if I can cut reasonably the same. Okay, go there. And this guy will go there. Press them together. And you know what? I think it's long enough. Okay, now at this point, I am going to texture the whole thing. I didn't texture the copper before because I knew I was going to be texturing the whole thing. And texturing like this at this point is really helping me just get those pieces to stick together, because they don't want to. They're antisocial and they don't want to stick together. So I have to force them to by taking this sponge. Dual plex refrigerator liner. And press, 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 press. And texture the whole thing. This is one of those situations where you would not be sanding and polishing because it would be very difficult. You would have to avoid the copper. All right, otherwise you just sand it off. So why bother even making it? So I find that situations like this where I'm using something with a fragile surface, of course I'm not going to sand and polish without protecting it somehow. All right. Whew. That was hard work. Okay, so I'm going to sand the back. How do I know it's the back? C. When I see the C, these are Cara Jane's templates. When I see the C, that doesn't stand for Cara Jane, it's just ABC. C. If I can read it, that's the right side. If it's backwards, that's the wrong side. So I'm going to take and I'm going to sand the wrong side with my Auburnet P180. Okie dokie, we're sanded. Not the best sanding job, but you know what? It'll do. Okay, now I'm just going to put this on, and I'm trying to center the design, place the design where I want it. But of course, okay. I think I want it to be a little more lopsided. Just a bit more lopsided. In other words, more of this basket weave pattern than the X's, or I mean I could reverse it. No, see, that's about even. So let's just do more basket weave like so. Now I'm going to take my scalpel, hold the template down, and just cut inside. Okay. And let's remove all the clay from around. All right. Now, you know, this looks fine, a little plain, it looks fine, but here's a very simple way of making it more interesting. IMO. This is template F, and you know what? I did sand it. So what I'm going to do I want F or do I want E? E is a little larger. Do I want E or do I want, what did I use on this sample? I made these so many years ago, you guys, so long ago. Oh, I used F for that, but look, it's much smaller. So you know what, I'm sticking with E that I did not sand. I'm using it anyway. Okay, and it's not going to be too bad because I textured the surface, so it doesn't want to stick as badly anyway. Get it? Okay, so position this template where you want it, and now you are going to cut it out. Like so. Okay, now let's take this middle cutout, what we just cut out, let's take that off. Take it out. And this is where you have to be a little careful, okay? Just like a little careful. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm putting it down and I'm releasing everybody. from the confines of the paper. I think this is actually going to make my life easier, because now I anticipate it being easier to remove the cutout. Okay, just like that. Out you go. Get out, and it's separated. It may do that on you guys. All right, so let's put this one on a tile. And you know, I don't have a tile. I now have a tile. Now, this tile has a very slight, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a texture, but it's not as smooth as many that I have. And that, I think, is going to help us in this situation. So I plopped that guy down, but now I have to get this around here, around this guy. And I have to admit, sometimes it's easier. Sometimes I just take it out and off it goes, and boom, I'm done. And it's like no trouble at all. Sometimes a little more trouble. But I think you can see it wasn't like that much more trouble. Okay, so now I'm just trying to kind of straighten it out just a little bit. Okay, so I flipped it over. So that's kind of, hello, Louie. Okay, everybody. Louie's whining. Louie's a whiny dog. Today he gets to see one of his favorite people in the whole wide world, his pedicurist, Tracy, coming to take care of his nails. Okay. So there you go. So it was quite simple just to make it a little more interesting by doing the cutout with Cara Jane's template, turning it around. But still looks a little plain to me. I am going to put a few little tiny crystals on. I like crystals, but you guys know I don't use like tons of them. So this amount of crystals, my little crystal box, well, I may have to put this in my will. Okay, I'm going to be using these guys, the ferrules. I think they're ferrules. Okay, so I think they're used for electronics, and you put cable through it and then you crimp. Like this, the cutter, what we use as a cutter is actually a crimp. What color shall I use? I like this color. I cannot remember what this color is called. I used to work with crystals a lot in the long ago days. So I'm going to use this crystal. Let's just, where shall I put it? Shall I put it? I want that to be the top, this the bottom. Ordinarily I do this because I have a tendency to weight everything to the bottom. Or is it to the top? Well, whatever. So let me just go here. Straddle the two pieces. Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. Now I'm going to take just black, using the same cutter. Cut it out. Turn it over, pick it up, plop it in the hole. Texture. Textura. Little small. Do I have one? I'm going to use this one. Okay, it's just a touch small. I think it'll be okay though. Center it over the black. Cut it out. Now I will take my liquid and scoop some out with my ball stylus that happens to be sitting here. Liquid. Oh. Then pick it up and kind of edge it in there. That's a good fit. That is a fine fit. And you know, I'm pushing it all the way in so that some of the liquid comes up and just kind of comes up along the sides. Okay. Now, let's do that again. It was so much fun. We're going to do it again. Only we're going to use a slightly smaller crystal. And this time, I think I won't put the black around it. Maybe, oh, there's a better size. Let's do it right in the middle of this copper area. Oh, just like that. But I could turn it over. Nah. Okay. Here we go. More crystal. Excuse me, liquid clay. Now comes the crystal. Da, da, da. Ooh, that's kind of a lot of liquid. Maybe I will clean it off. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, here. This is a nice little guy. Yeah, it's going to cure clear, so I'm not concerned about it clouding it. Now I'm going to put one more in. Oh my God, I am going crystal crazy. Crystal crazy. This is so unlike me. I think this is, it's just a little smaller than that. So let us just, like that. Let me get it out. Once again, just a little bit of liquid. Oops. Okay, good, 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 good. I can't remember what this, Montana, no, not Montana. Montana is a blue color. It'll come to me sometime. And now I'm just pushing it down into the hole. Okay, I have liquid everywhere. It's so tiny. Okay. No more crystals, no more crystals. All right. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to refine the edge and see if it needs any trimming at all. So I am just going to put Cara Jane's template on the piece. And cut around. Okay, not much trimming to do on that side. I just had that one area right here. Just needed a little bit of help. See? So I'd like to get rid of that. Now the last class we used these screw eye pins. This time, let's use oval jump rings. Now, I will say this, I don't have any round jump rings in my studio, but if I had them, I could use them for this purpose. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift this end, lift it up. Then I'm going to take my jump ring, and what I want is I want the opening to be in the clay. So let's just drag that down, try to position it underneath. We're trying. That looks pretty good. I'm just gonna take this guy and just push that clay around the ring. Now, I will of course sand the perimeter of the piece, but this is just a little bit easier. It's going to be a little bit easier to back it, and certainly to put in that little hangy thing, right? Okay. Now, this is popped in the oven. And I will cure this for... my oven is actually hot now, so I think I'll cure this for 20 minutes. Now it's time to back the piece. Now this piece looks a little different because it is different. I made two. When I was lifting the piece off the tile, the ring came off. Yup, it did. Not a big deal though. You just take glue and you glue it back into that space. All right. Now what I do have to do is sand the perimeter. So I'm going to take my Abranet, I'm going to sand it so it's nice and smooth, and you know, I am going to bring the back clay up along the edge. So as I sand, I'm going to sand this sharp edge down, just like this. You see, I'm stroking from the back onto the side, like so, so I can feel that it's rounding out. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this has been rolled through setting number 5. It's not the thinnest clay, but it's also not very thick. And so, as you can see, I textured it as well on the sponge. So, you know what? It wants to crack. It's going to want to crack on me. And this is going to help, just softening this sharp edge, because it's almost like a cut edge, right? If it's sharp, it's going to cut the clay. So let me continue doing that. I will be back. All right, so I've sanded the perimeter. Now, I only cured this for 20 minutes, so it's not like cured hard. So you have to treat it kind of carefully, okay? Treat it like it's fragile, because it is just a bit fragile. Okay. Now I am going to take my liquid clay and I'm going to apply it all over the back, and see right there, right there, at the jump ring. I want that ring to be captured in clay. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the edge. Da, da, da. I suppose I could use my fingers. Fingers are good. Okay. Just a bit messy, but not too bad. Okie dokie. Wipe my hands off. You know what? This is like way too much clay. Way. It's gonna get in my way. I just need a piece. It's sort of like that. Okay. Now I am just I'm gonna line it up like that. And I've decided that I'm just going to trim it exactly. So I'm not going to bring it up over the edge. You know why? Because this is a problem for me. I would have a blank spot there. And maybe I could put some stuck. Let me see something. Let me see something. I wasn't thinking too clearly about this, but let me put a little bit here. Let's see if I can simply cut a little bit of a piece. Put it there. Move it, press it in the ring like so. How does the back look? How does the back look? Stroke the clay over just a bit. Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll work. So I had to go in the ring and put that little patchy piece in. Now I'm going to take the clay from the back and just push it up over. I might have to, see, I got a little space there, so I might have to put just a bit of clay to fill that vacuum. Not that big a deal, I don't think. Okay, so I need just a tiny piece like that I keep dropping. Let's see, fill the space in like so. Try to get this clay to go around that ring. Okay, now can I actually stretch this one over? Sometimes you can just stretch the clay over. You don't have to put an extra piece in. All right, so let me trim it and get a better idea. Okay, so let's give this a go. Okay. That's not bad. That is not bad. So if you didn't want to do that, you could just not pull the clay up and around the sides. Okay. Ta-ta. Now I have to put my signature cane on. And this little piece is done. Where's my signature box? I don't know what I'd do without little boxes like this. I got boxes all over the place. Okay, put her there. Oops, it's alive. Put her there. And my backs tend to be kind of plain, but sometimes I'll pop a crystal here or there if you just want to make it a little more pretty. Much you can do. Okay, so let me cure this, and then I'll be back. So here is one that I backed, and I did not bring the clay up along the edge. So I think it's important to sand that edge. Okay, first of all, it feels better, it looks better. Okay, this is sanded. This is not, and I'm gonna put some Nivea on this side, so it won't be gray. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl gave me this to clean up my work surface. Isn't it cute? A little vacuum cleaner. Okay, so the end. Almost. There's just one little thing that remains to be done, and that is, of course, just attaching an oval jump ring to the top. Okay, I've gone over Y ovals before. If you don't want to lose your pendant, then use oval jump rings. Oh my. Well, I will find more. Doink. Doink. Oops. Sorry. I'm kind of a klutz. You know, I think I always was a klutz, but I think I'm getting klutzier. How about that? Better. There we go. So another just simple little thing for you to do, and by using a second cutter, smaller than the first. It's quite easy to make the design more complex without a lot of work. Without hardly any work, as a matter of fact. Okay. I applied the Nivea to the sides, and you can see that gray is gone. It's now black. And then, you know what? I rubbed a little bit on the surface too. And I think that that kind of brought the color in the canes back. It's looking a little bit dull to me. Actually, a little bit dusty. Okay, so that's it for this. It's just a simple little class for you. I don't think you need anything very special to do it. Of course, you're going to need the canes, but the canes are all on the channel, so you can do the canes if you want to do these specific ones. But of course, you can use your own, so you don't even have to do that. Now, if you'd like classes that are longer, a little more complicated, then please join the classroom. Yes, because that's where all those are. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. And until we meet again, I'm Donna Kato.